It is. Summer has finally, or temporarily, or very briefly put on pause. And give me a second here. I am trying to find my. I ran out of tissues or what? Welcome everybody. Another edition of Nacho the Squatcho and stuff. You guys are on my little Yones on my little channel. I'll tell you what. It's rainy today. The summer is finally. Look at all this shit. That's not me. All these like family-oriented people that Karens and cops never complain about. They only complain about me and Joe X. And these supposedly good family-oriented people litter the shit out of whatever the fuck, you know? I'll show you what I littered. I didn't litter anything. I put together shit that was already littered here. Plus I brought biodegradable wood blocks to throw axe at. So I am trying to get into axe throwing because I had done martial arts my whole life. Nobody cares, right? Like my detractors or haters, they try to talk shit. Excuse me, this cord's in the way. Because supposedly I never won any titles, or like I never became pro or whatever. And whatchamacallit, the people who are cool with me, they say the truth, where it's like, hey, that guy was really good and talented, but he had to get a full-time job and all this other shit. And then the other people would probably try to argue, oh, I do a full-time job too. It's like, yeah, dude, but you're not as good as him in certain things. And you're only better at him and other things, me. Better because they have the time to do more grappling. I did mostly only like karate style kickboxing, hard sparring. I hope my camera won't get wet and shit. So I'm trying to hit. There's a lightning struck this tree and it grew two ways. I'm trying to hit the one. This is my right. It's gonna show left to you guys, I bet. But I'm trying to hit the one that's on this side. Anyways. Okay. Let's see if I could throw with all this gear on. Okay, let's see. I'm really far. And I wasn't able. Well, all the shit that I have on, I had to throw with completely all upper body. I couldn't rock forward as much. It's not your guys' fault. It's only going to make me stronger because I have to do it a harder way. But rock and roll. Probably not going to do this all day. We're probably going to go on a hike. So your guys are going to get a better view if I walk backwards. Pardon me. I got mud. I got fucking mud on my axe and hands. So before I get the string out of your face or my face to my hat string, I don't know how to get that out of the way so you guys could perpetually say, but I was trying. So anyways, I wonder how the phone's getting very wet. I need to go get a bigger hat, like a sombrero. That's ideal. That'll really keep my hat dry, this camera dry. That's a really good idea. Can you guys remind me of that in the comments when this video comes on? Like, yeah, right. Nobody really, not a lot of people watch my channel, and it's fine. Because the main person, one of my heroes, I mean, honestly, dude, you guys go check out Joe X. Dude, I grew up liking action stars, and I've been very bored lately with action movies. And I threw it out of sync. And got very bored with modern day action stars and action movies. And a lot of action heroes I was growing up watching, you learn that a lot of them were douchebags in real life. It's kind of a letdown. Bruce Lee wasn't a douchebag. I like Mel Gibson a lot. I'm not racist. Mel Gibson's not nobody's racist, dude. Fucking I'm sorry. I love Mel, dude. Fucking. Oh man, poor guy got caught fucking raging out, you know. Fuck, dude. I'm not racist, I swear to God. I just love you even more, dude. Of course, dude. Of course, the Jezebel. Of course, the chick, he bought all her shit. I need to get closer. I have too much shit on to fucking be accurate at all. Oh, man. Anyways, my new hero. So, my new hero to me about Joe AX. That T from Cold Steel wants to bank so bad. Joe X probably thinks I'm a crazy stalker. My channel is supposed to be like, what the fuck is this guy on? My channel is basically the KTAM radio. It's the product. It's a product, dude, of seriously of lifelong, at least, because my detractors want to say I don't have that. They don't always want to diss my creds. It's the product of severe insomnia, at least like 11 years straight. And like fucking pretty much lifelong, man. So it's insane. Anyways, first I saw this commercial or something about Tom Brown Jr. and I always wanted to get into the outdoors, man. And I was basically like, I consider myself a martial artist. Call me a hobbyist or not, but it's gotten me this far in life, so I gotta get much closer. And then I went down the rabbit hole of survival knives, and then it led me to Joe X stuff. And I started realizing how affordable Cold Steel and all this was. And then I got into survival training. I'm not the greatest at it. I did not learn a lot of things. Okay, I admit that. I'm more of a kinetics person. I like hitting stuff. I like running and hitting stuff. I like lifting, running, hitting. I loved sparring. I guess I can't do that no more. God willing or God stuff, you know, because God forbid, I mean, I don't know, whatever's positive. Because 5 years ago, people just quit showing up to practice, dude. It was just kids. It was only like 20-year-old kids. I'm hanging out with Doogie Howsers and shit. And fucking missed me with all that. And so I had nothing better to do. I was like, oh yeah, I remember I always wanted to get in the outdoors. And then the rabbit hole led me to Joe X. And I realized how valuable a guy like me needs a survival knife, especially in California where you're not really supposed to have guns. By the way, Joe, you guys are interesting people, my dude, because you know my favorite glick, my favorite. I don't know. Are we allowed to say gun on YouTube? You know, my favorite glickety glack lick is you know, it's made in Austria. In California, believe it or not, you don't just take my word on it. They fucked it up. California is among some of the people who are suing Glock. So Glock is making shit different. In California, for whatever reason, we're only allowed to have a Generation 3 Glock. Getting better. I always need to warm up. I don't claim to be the best axe thrower. This is really challenging. I learned spinning back kick so easy. I learned a right cross so easy. This is pretty hard for me, to be honest. What I got going for me is I'm sort of a big dude, so I can throw 30-inch axes. This is not a 30-inch axe. It kept breaking and breaking. Shorter and shorter. This is a Frisker's axe. Frisker's axe. Using momentum. And swash! I gotta get a little bit closer. But, yeah. So, my dude, Joe X, I mean, this is not just him. We all doing our part. I'm using him as an icon, an example. So first, you see the shit that I'm doing? Like, what kind of fucking 50-year-old man does this? Dude, a single 50-year-old man that loves the outdoors does this shit. Fuck off. So people bitch and bitch and bitch. So the neighbors, dude, Joe is such a cool dude because he has a really good attitude, man. Because if he was like supposedly a crazy, dangerous person, he would have committed violence against people complaining all the time. And so he speaks his mind, and it got on the radar until, like, you know, Europe's not a free country anymore. America's next. So he lost a bunch of shit, dude. And what pisses me off is I predicted it. Only Jacob B. Peterson from Prepper Bunkers Outdoors was going to give remotely any fucks at all. Everybody else wants this monetized knife collecting channel. Like Jacob B. Peterson, myself, fucking Joe. We don't just fucking collect knives. We really get off our ass. And there's a lot of honorable mentions of people who are not going to fucking say anything. But if I had a popular platform, I mean, I'm very blessed that I guess I'm a scrub or a lowlife because I'm not tempted by money to be a douche. So I'm going to use my fucking channel. I don't have some hot chick like, you better be making money off that fucking shit, you stupid. You know, I have no chick bitching about that shit. So these guys got to worry about whatever and just not fucking speak up. It's supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave. And all these right-wingers, whatever you want to call them, MAGA or Republicans or conservatives, the libertarians, a confused bunch. I'm registered that. So getting closer. So yeah, man. They did the man wrong, dude. And I like Joe a lot, dude, because I had a German friend. This one job I hated. He was a metalhead, and I don't know if Germans count as Eastern Europeans, but they're really down to earth, dude. They're like they come from like really war torn and fucked up. I'm not saying Austria and like Germany and stuff. They're a first world nation. I'm not saying, but they got fucked up, dude. All that, the Slavs too. That area of the world got really fucked up, and it made the people have cool temperaments, and they're not like the douchebags in California. And the very few, every time now I'm this age, every time I'm talking, I don't mean to sound racist. Because I work for these cool rock and roll white dudes, and I love it, man. But like a lot of them, they call the cops on fuckers like me and shit. Not them, not my bosses. They're cool as fuck. I'm talking about like, I literally been somewhere where I was a kid, dude. Like the fucking these supposed Christian Republicans are heartless. You better keep on moseying along, you son of a gun. I swear to God, that's what she said. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just trying to go to school. So it made me extremely antisocial. So when I see Joe have a good temperament about shit, I'm like, how is this guy nuts, dude? Normal people would have gone full on Christopher Dorner already. Christopher Dorner was a fired cop, and he went AWOL and started killing a bunch of people. Like, fucking. So any fucking way, dude. I'm pissed off for him. I'm pissed off for a lot of fucking shit, dude. And don't my whole shtick, my whole spiel is I don't like hypocrisy. There's a lot of people that think they're Christian or MAGA or American or freedom, or they have the libertarian flag, and they're fucking douchebags. And they're never gonna understand. It's the hugest Dunning fucking Kruger effect. And there's nothing I could do about it. So I don't want to get involved. I made like a vow to stop being about politics and be about kitty cats and tactico and martial arts and survival. And then when I see that this politics keeps, I got laid off a bunch of times from this job making government shit because of politics. Really, it was like entry-level sheet metal welding, but it had to do with Elon Musk shit. It's a lot of people work for SpaceX, so they're making shit for SpaceX. Believe it or not, aerospace, whatever. It's just manual machining, basically. And politics was fucking that. I try to get out of politics and religion a lot, and then the only sports I watch, I consider Joe X and myself blade sports. Blades. This is a Frisker's axe. It has somewhat of a blade on it. It's a wedge. More in the machetes, thick machetes. Technically, it's a wrong term. That's a long other story. It's a big knife. Not this axe. I'm talking about things that people call machetes. Anyways, Joe, I need to recalibrate or something. It just pisses me off. So, like, I mean, politics is even fucking with this guy. Like, everywhere I turn, people do not stand up for their neighbors. They don't stand up for their countrymen. They don't stand up for their kinsmen. They don't stand up for their fellow Westerners. And they say they're all about freedom and all this and that. But the fascists or the people on the other side, the woke or whatever you want to call it, the fucking, we're red pill, guys. They're woke. Right? That's how it's come down to. That all that shit or whatever, all this political correctness and not being able to speak your mind and fucking the constitutional rights of God-given freedoms to all men, then it's, what was I saying? I have really bad dementia, guys. You get the point, man. It's even fucking with him, dude. And everybody on the left, though, they stand up for each other. They have riots and shit. Everybody on the right tucks tail. And they let their own fall one by one. That pisses me off. I respect authority. Hey, I want to give a shout out that I live in Southern California, and sheriff and I was going to say highway patrol, but sheriff has always been cooler with me growing up as what they call a skid kid, or it's basically a metalhead. Like, metalheads, I'm not trying to talk, I get along with a lot of punk rockers and even goths, but we all kind of talk shit on each other. And metalheads that they come from rough homes, they end up looking like skids. They end up looking like thrash metal, like underground thrash metal. They end up looking like punk rockers. They end up looking too grungy or whatever. That's like a different semantic term. So we get fucked up with by cops. And it's all, if you fuck with like colored people, then you're racist, but it's all a game to fuck with us, you know? So let me get this fucking string out of the fucking way, for fuck's sakes, dude. Fucking the sand fucked it up, dude. I need to clean this shit off before I raise it in the air. Yeah, shit fucks with us all. It's not really a political matter of right versus left. It shouldn't even be woke versus red pill. That's a psyop. That was engineered to happen. It's a census. It shows whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, the deep state. What's the consensus? What's the majority? Woke or red pill? Okay, more people are going red pill. We're going to use woke as a fear tactic to get them on something that's going to promise them the Epstein files will be released and that even tariffs are going to help American business and Social Security, or fucking you're gonna, but really, dude, they make excuses and they make boogeymen to take away our constitutional rights. And Jacob B. Peterson can elaborate much better than me. He can articulate and elaborate much better than me and Joe X about political things. And me and Joe X really like that kid. He's a fucking alpha male, dude. Hey, kudos, Jacob. I'm a very small channel. I'm a very unlikable person. I don't claim to be a good guy or anything like that, dude. Seriously. My only redeeming quality is, like, I'm not that much of a creepo. Like, I'm kind of like sentimental to chicks that are in my hapless domain and need me, instead of like putting in the wrong hole and shit. So, like, fucking, I'm benevolent as fuck, So anyways, I don't give a shit. I'm the most after I've seen some douchebags in the world, I'm kind of the most self-righteous motherfucker that ever lived. I don't give a shit. And I like Joe X a lot, and he's being fucked with. None of these fuckers need to give a shout out to me. You don't have to get demonetized worse ever seeing my shit. I don't care, dude. I'm just trying to bring awareness to what the fuck. And all this knife shit gave me something to do. I wasn't doing martial arts, and I was going to get into playing guitar and shit, which is cool as fuck. Gets more chicks than what we're doing, But, you see this here? It's all fucked up, right? Whatever. You see this shit here? Yeah, but it's like this. Hold on. Let me make the camera better. I don't need I don't need to re-ammo that thing. Thank God for now. I don't have to register that thing or anything fascist. I don't have to plug it into electricity. I don't need to buy accoutrements for it. It's just straight to the point, primitive. Knife is a little bit more delicate, but let me try to, so yawns can't flee. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, we'll see, but yeah, it pisses me off that Joe X is getting fucked with, dude. I need to get a huge sombrero so the rain could be fucked off more. I don't know what, hopefully I was on a Ranger. Yeah, you get the point. So anyways, that's that. And it's hard to, once you take gloves off, it's hard to put new ones right back on, because your hands are kind of the consistency or dexterity of them or whatever is more snaggy, and they don't slide on. But yeah, that's that, guys, So we'll go on like a little hike or some shit. But we got to go on, we got to get out of the rain. So I'm just going to, I don't care if that axe gets rusty. Okay. I'm trying to buy another one anyway, and I want to see how much it could take. So I'm just going to leave it in the fucking ground. And we're going to get out of the rain. And I can't find if I brought oh yeah. This is the rag. So hopefully, man, if I just got a big sombrero. Oh. I had a leather jacket. I was looking all like heavy metal and badass. Looking like a buff-ass Triple H from WWF or some shit. And then I didn't care anymore. I got in the outdoors, dude. Now I want a sombrero. I'm starting to see how Wild Western movies, or how the people dress in the Wild West, what ponchos and big old sombreros and shit. I could see how valuable that is from living out here now. I wasn't born in California, but I've been here pretty much my whole life. And I don't have the cardio of Joe X, but believe it or not, I can jog a long distance, and it won't be much faster than this. Yeah. Yeah. There's this other dude that purportedly, some people talk shit on him because they don't like big guys. They can't look up to big dudes. They have to look up to Tank Abbott is extremely much stronger than me, and I believe he has been able to jog long distances too. And he's known for having really bad cardio. I would say, at least compared to other fighters or whatever you want to call it. Oh, here's the trail. So we're gonna hit. The rain let up a little bit. I would have been still throwing axe, but I guess we'll go on a little nature walk. Talk about the circle of life. Oh, then like a douchebag, I keep bragging about the hot blonde I've hooked up with before. So every time I'm talking about, oh yeah, T from Cold Steel totally wants to jump Joe X's bones, right? Then I got this virtue signaler that I guess I won't put on blast this time. But he's all like, that's somebody's daughter. And I bet he disabled the rest of my comments. Like a little B word. And these people believe, they think they believe in the Constitution and shit. They don't like free speech. I'll just put you on blast, dude. I'll just make a live video about it. Oh, your channel's not that big. Yeah, well, you're lucky then. Anyways, because T is fucking 18 years old, dipshit. And then I was like challenging fools. I was like, hey, my little her nickname's Sarah. I don't want to tell her real name, even though I've accidentally said it. My little Sarah, dude. She's like significantly younger than me, and I never put it in the wrong hole or didn't need to, and fucking like I treated her like a little fucking princess and shit. Like she was my property. I love that fucking idiot, you know. So it's like who's fucking sugar mama what felony ridden person who has to live with their chick to have a roof because is gonna get mad at me. Dude, people get so mad at me fucking having little Sarah on my lap and shit. No, I'm not a weirdo. I'm not a creepo. Fuck you. But T from Cold Steel is 18 years old, so so if anybody wants to say, oh, quit saying that T wants to bang Joe, she does. The chicks have to act like they have to act like around their peers or whatever that they're not really about that, you know. But she knows. She knows like everybody around her is some fat guy that's just some blue collar schmuck, and people like Joe, and to a far lesser extent, second degree myself, were like last action heroes, you know. She knows she would get that thrilling passion in the sack that she's missing from Luke and Tyrone, you know. So you guys follow K-Tam Radio for background noise whenever you're bored or want to laugh at shit. I don't have good quality shit. I don't care. Honestly, I make these fucking videos, not this one. I'm just bored. I make K-Tam Radio and Riddle Still Radio so I can have something to listen to in the sauna without interrupting commercials. That's it. And jogging too. So Joe said he quit drinking alcohol. I know what he means. He quit habitually drinking alcohol. I'm going to probably stop Ganjita es smokera. So there's too much exposure here going forward, but I never seen trees before where you can make better spears, wooden spears. So there's nothing to block the direct rain from being a fucking an asshole. Oh, this is cool. This looks like an enchanted forest now, but it's a desert. It's a desert wasteland. And All of those cactuses, dude, had only 3 pieces of fruit on them. All of them. Well, it is. Somebody would probably say, "Hey, is it? Didn't you say it's past winter solstice? So they're out of season." Well, you tell me, expert. Do they have a shitload on them? Because I barely see that shit when it is season. But I have not been here. The chances of it happening should be more here. So, anyways, I brought with us. I brought with me the Cold Steel Warhawk. I put shit on it like a ferro rod and all sorts of stuff. And the people who say you could get by with just an axe and a pocket knife, I don't know what you're talking about. What if something happened and what if you're hiking with your chick and she found the waitress's number in your pocket and she flung it over here and all this shit is in your face and you need to cut it out of your way to go get her number back? How are you gonna cut? You're gonna cut this shit out of your face with an axe? You know how uncomfortable that is? Three River Blades shows how you can clear trails with an axe, but to me, that's pretty annoying. It's not his fault it's annoying. It's kudos for him to showing how it's done. But no, I think I'm gonna replace this with it should be coming the what the heck is it called? Heavy duty kukri from Cold Steel. But this tool is very utility. This is actually an indestructible tool. I put a shitload of excuse me. I put a shitload of really bad sinuses. Cold Steel Warhawk, if you can see it. I wrapped it with about from here to here where it always breaks, because these will break on you. Everything that's metal, the handle included, I put the most powerful Loctite I could find, wrapped in paracord really tight to here, if you could see, and then wrapped it with a lot of Gorilla Glue shit and what's that called? Electrical tape. So it's like a rubber. I've even like made one of these to try to break it on purpose, and at worst it bended it. It bended it in such a way that would make the spike even more deadlier, like a kukri handle almost, if that makes sense. So, yeah, good for me. That was actually a trench hawk. It wasn't a war hawk, but it is a very invaluable tool. And what I like, I've beat this thing up so bad that it barely has an edge on it. Oh, I got to work a decent working edge on it as best it's going to get for being fucked up. I learned from Jacob B. Peterson, this would make this would make a good spear too. I learned from Jacob B. Peterson that when you start damaging these blades, you get the thinness behind the edge, or the first bevel or whatever, the edge, it starts to round out. So now you have an extreme convex edge, kind of, and it's not sharp no more, really. Barely sharp anymore. So I'm very sure I've done it to this axe, beating the shit out of it and throwing it and it landing on rocks and stuff. So had it been always striking or landing on vegetation only, this would probably be still a very sharp tool. But I've been even hitting this, at least spike first, on iron, like straight up rock solid iron things. I mean thick iron too, just to see how much it would take. But while we're here, might as well not fall in the cactus like I've done. Remember doing twice in my life. I remember it exactly as a kid. This tree's so beautiful that I guess I won't torture it with this. Try to find a dead tree. But this is ideal. you could get a lot of practice throwing axe on this tree because you have to be true, meaning like if you didn't strike your target, you better understand that you suck. But it's going to prevent you from having to chase it over and over and over. This tree is so grand. It's so for California, it's so grand and majestic that I'm just going to let it live. And I don't believe that hitting these things with my axes, I don't believe it kills a tree. If someone could prove me wrong, that's fine. But these are too beautiful and they're providing too much shade for me to disrespect with this axe. I would love to do it on this, but this would be hard to retrieve my axe from. I want to respect government property, so I'm not going to do it on a telephone pole. I want them to know they can trust hikers like myself, that people like me don't come here to leave bicycle inner tubes, you know? So, I mean, some people are such bitch-ass Karens. I should just take my axe, put it away. But then, like, imagine a bobcat comes out. So Karens need to shut the fuck up, dude. You know, really, dude. They're a liability to real men. And people side with the fucking Karens because they're bitches too, you know? So what can you do? That's why I feel for Joe X and stuff. So I'm going to look at some comments or lack thereof. I doubt there's any fucking comments, you know? Nobody really cares. This spike is so durable and tough. I don't care. I'll just in the ground so it'll just hold itself there. I don't want to stick it on any trees. But like that ugly tree over there is probably dead or dying. I would fuck with that, but the topography to do so isn't very commensurate. So let me see here. Let me see if anybody wrote. Put the volume all the way down. So let me see if anybody. So you guys, this is the Squatcho channel. Past the Squatcho. I love yous. So what happened to guys? Andrew Tate and Jake Paul lost the fight, huh? What else is going on in the world right now? Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. It's fine. I should just be throwing axe then. But I don't want get my phone wet. I just don't want to get my phone wet. So let me take a little 360. Oh, wow. Yay. That's pretty. I grew up in the other century, so this is pretty phenomenal to me. So whoop-de-doo. I thought I saw some cactus fruit. All right, guys. So nobody gives a shit. So we're probably going to end the video, but whoop-de-doo. Just throwing axe and stuff. And I love yuns. Out of all the days, man, I had all this shit ready to go. It's all good. It's all good. Keep on rocking the free world. Subscribe to Kai Tam Radio Business.